Welcome back, everyone. This will be a video on Wingbits. For those who have been here for a while, this may be a little rudimentary for y'all, or this is more or less for beginners. So, guys, one thing I do like about Wingbits is you can actually find information about them. They actually have people who are in their project. They're posting stuff, and you can actually find these people who um, are members of Wingbits. They actually have LinkedIn's that have been established for longer than 24 hours, and you can actually do some research on it. So you can go to the Wingbits page. Um, this is just kind of like an overall video because I see a lot of questions in the LinkedIn. I mean, in the Discord. I'm gonna tell you, I like this Discord. It makes me very comfortable. Where some of the previous projects we were involved in, you didn't really see anybody real big from the industry, if I can say that. There were some guys who were really helpful who did come from Helium, who were in the Discord, who really don't visit the Discord. And you now see those guys with us over here in the Wingbits Discord. But you do have some very big players from this, um, whether you want to call it, you know, whatever industry you want to call this. But it's a very, you see some popular names and stuff like that. It gives me a little more comfortability, if that's the word to use. Players involved in this game that just makes us feel more comfortable. So yes, the Wingbits Discord is very popular. So if you're not in that, jump into that. Make sure you're in that. There's a lot of guys helping. I help a lot during the day, but a lot of these guys are from the UK. So while I'm sleeping and stuff like that, they have other people. I'm gonna say I am not an admin of this Wingbits um, group or anything like that, but I do help some things. But there are people in this in this Discord that know way more than I do. So feel free to jump around and take a look at it. And there are some setup questions and photos and different things like that, announcements and stuff like that. So one of the biggest things I wanted to explain, that I see this question being asked countless times. And again, understand this is a very beginner video for people just coming into Wingbits who are coming from different places. Wingbits does things differently. Wingbits, you don't have to, you're not gonna get paid per miner or per receiver, per ground station, whatever you want to call it. Um, Wingbits calls those antennas. But one antenna, if it's set up properly, that's all you need with this. That's what I like about this. You don't have to worry about buying a license per device or anything like that. And what I like about what I like about this is if you have a good enough antenna, you don't have to put this up. This is one of my stations right here and another one of my stations right here. And you can see that I'm covering 200 plus miles away. However, when you look at where this station is near this lake right here, but then you look at this station here, which is halfway here, and then you look at this station, which is in Baton Rouge, if you look at these closely, you will see that they provide different types of coverage. So me, I've already had these devices set up from the previous two projects we were involved in, and it's very easy for me just to add the Wingbits script, which I have another video on that if you want to check it out. The link will be in the description. But as you can see, all these are actually providing different coverages, and that's why I have them set up. But if you have one station that is set up, and I'll take this one. This is one of my better performing ones. This one normally gets about 200 air aircraft during the day. But as you can see, I'm getting 200 plus miles out with this, over 200 miles out. And if you look, it's this 360 degrees, but I only have one device right here. So we're going to use this one device for example. So when you go to this hex, this is where that device is, but I'm technically providing coverage all the way around here. So if I want to get compensated for providing coverage to all this, before the map used to show the planes on top of this, I like that a lot better. They stream that a lot. But if I'm providing coverage past, if you look back at this, I'm into Arkansas right here. This is the state line for Louisiana, and I'm providing coverage well north of Louisiana. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Tupelo, Tuscaloosa, into Florida, north of Fort Walton Beach and Destin, and almost into Houston with this one station. In this other station, I am providing into Houston. So you can see I can turn around and purchase just because my one station's here. It doesn't matter if you don't have stations in these other ones. So if I'm providing coverage here, I can turn around and purchase these. Now, if they're red, you can't purchase them. But that doesn't mean anything because, again, here's the north part of, I see people, the reason I'm discussing this is the reason people are saying, oh, well, the hex where I'm at and my miner's at is purchased already. That doesn't matter because I can purchase, even though these are red, I can purchase this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I can keep going. Purchase down here at the south. Remember we showed how we were north of Destin? This is Destin about right here where this little hand's at. And I can purchase this. I'm providing coverage to all these. So now I can go and purchase 16 hexes and still provide coverage and get compensated for that coverage. Now, I'm going to sit here and I have my miners spread out because I still have host agreements with people from the previous two projects. So I have one in Baton Rouge. I have this one that's in between along the Mississippi River. This is the one in Baton Rouge. And as long as there's unique data or aircraft between these, add them. Now, if I have two that are in Baton Rouge, which these two in Baton Rouge, and if this one right here is already covering 130, 120 planes, or this one's 130 planes, there's no real reason to add the 120 one to Wingbits. But I can if I want, because there's no limit to how many stations or antennas that you want to add. So I got to figure out why these are offline because they shouldn't be offline. I was just in a bunch of them, but it will tell you if it's offline. And I guess I should have checked that before I did the video, but I got to see what's going on because these should not be offline. Anyway, going back at it. If I want to just add another one, all you're doing is going to register antenna and you're putting your GPS in. Now you have to make sure the GPS is exact. The longitude is negative. And again, I'll go through this with another video. And when you press register, it's going to populate a name. You don't pay for that. The only thing you're paying for is the sky hex. So that's the gist of this video is that, and this is one of my friends that I helped set up. He wanted into this. He was in the previous two projects with me also. So this is what he has right here. His miners are the ones I just showed you. And that's the ones here under this antennas and stuff like that. And he actually has another house in Gulfport that he's about to put one at also. But he has a building in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and he has his personal house that's in Slidell right here. So he is covering all this right now. And each payday, he's going to come and purchase another one. Another payday, he's going to purchase another one. Another payday, he's going to purchase another one. He's providing all this for coverage. So why wouldn't he eventually purchase these? Now he took his time and now these reds, okay, so these reds are sold out. It doesn't matter because he's still providing coverage here, 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 and here. So he's going to get compensated for that. Now, one thing I want to make sure I tell y'all is if his miner's covering 134 planes right here, adding another one, so this one's got 160. Now, so he's going to get compensated for these, say, 160 that are in the hexes he purchased. The only way he's going to get compensated on any of these, if any of these planes on this second miner are already on this one. So like if you look at this red, like say like this red plane in the middle, He can buy that hex right now. When he checks his other miner, see the red plane's still there. This blue plane's there. He will only get compensated for this red plane and blue plane on one miner. However, if you go far enough and and you search back and forth, I'm sure we could find planes that are on this 135 one that are not on. Here we go. Look. So the Baton Rouge one, even though it has less, is showing these planes around Houston, Beaumont, if he has this hex. The one that has 150 is not showing those planes. So you see, adding more antennas to get better coverage works out as long as it's unique data. Once all these aircraft on the 160 miner are compensated for, the only thing he's going to compensate in this one with 130 is unique planes that he hasn't hex for. But I wanted to make this video kind of short and sweet. And look, for those who are not familiar with my channel, I am very amateur at this at best. I do this strictly just to try to help people out. For older people like me who don't understand what the hell's going on, understand a little bit about crypto and stuff like that, coming from other projects and trying to explain these new projects. So look, I don't have the great, I know Gristle King's in here, and I'm embarrassed as hell to be doing videos when you see that kind of setup that man's got. And maybe one day he can do a shout out for my channel and help me out, because I know he has a lot of followers, and we could all wish. But I'm just trying to break it down a little bit easier for y'all, just to know that if you have a miner right here, it's okay to go and purchase these. Now, what I will say is you have to provide coverage for these. So I was looking at this earlier, is you look at the fact that somebody went and purchased these in north of Florida and they don't have coverage of that yet. Now, this could be somebody who's planning on, now it is, now this is going to show up. Earlier today, none of this was showing up. So somebody got their miner online. My point I'm trying to make is, don't purchase a hex unless you know within 30 days you're going to provide coverage for that. If for some reason you don't provide coverage in that hex, you will lose that hex and you will lose out on your $20. So I got a friend right now I'm trying to work a deal with to put a miner up for me, because he lives in Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi right now has very little coverage. As you can see, somebody's got maybe a low ground station here, and maybe somebody in Houston's picking up these. So Corpus Christi would be ripe for me. I also did some hunting over the weekend, if y'all saw my other video, and my other hunting video was in Cotulla. I would love to somehow, the problem is the internet out there, but I would love to get a miner or a ground station set up there, because I would be picking up all these planes, and there's nobody out there. Nobody. See, now people bought these hexes, but they're not providing coverage yet. So within the next 30 days, if nobody's providing coverage for these, you're going to watch these hexes go from 2 people owned them to 1 person owned them to all available, because after some point, nobody's providing coverage. And as you can see right now, there's planes going back and forth from San Antonio into to Mexico. So don't go out and buy hexes. Don't be the first person to go and buy Las Vegas, Nevada, if you don't have a miner around Las Vegas, Nevada. I got some family that lives in Arizona. If I could get them to put a miner up for me, it'll be great. But I'm not going to go buy that hex until I know that for sure, because in 30 days, if I'm not providing coverage, I'm losing out on my $20. So I hope this wasn't too fast for y'all. I hope this kind of explains it. I like it because anybody who already has a miner set up from DFly or one of these other things that has, Pi running on it, all you got to do is go, when you go to add antenna, it shows you the script down here. If you already are running DFly, something with that GPS in it, you don't have to even add the GPS again. It's strictly that. Again, go look at my other video and you can see how that works. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to leave them online. I'm really, as y'all can see, I'm really on board with this. And just to show y'all how on board I am, because you know me, I'm honest with everybody. I will tell y'all what I think. This is how many hexes I own right now, and every payday I'm buying another hex. And right now I'm providing coverage way further than this. The the one that is 160 that shows 200, this is actually my miner. If y'all looked at my video from 2 days ago with my buddy on a building, he has a 200-foot roof line by the Mississippi River. This is the one that I have with him, and I'm paying him, compensating him for having that deal up there. So you can see this thing's going 250 miles, probably close, 254 miles. But I'm providing coverage all the way down here in the Gulf, all the way down here. This is the mouth of the Mississippi River, and I'm providing coverage all here. So I can go back here, and I still have this here, and I still have further out that I can purchase. I can still purchase these, and I'm providing coverage into Arkansas, and that's all wide open. But I'm taking my time because this is a new project. Nothing's guaranteed. None of this is financial advice. This is just a hobby, whatever you want to call it. But you can slowly just buy this hex this week, and then next week I can come back and buy this hex or this hex. You know, take my Christmas money when Santa comes and buy 2 more hexes. But that's all I started to do a couple of weeks ago. And I'm gonna say this also: there's certain people in certain projects that feel that if you are playing with Wingbits, then you shouldn't be involved in another project, and that's wrong. That's a wrong mentality. I like crypto. I'm involved in a number of projects, and there's no reason for that. That's just my personal advice, my personal thoughts on it. I am, for those who don't know, some of my miners were removed and kicked off of DeFly when I had the falling out that I did and left from over there. It is what it is. I'm sure they're making some more empty promises today that I can't see because I'm not in the DeFly, I mean, in the Discord at all no more. But I'm sure they're telling people that, hey, just stay with us because in 20 something days we'll be on exchange. And again, I haven't even looked at that Discord in probably close to a week or two when I did my video, and I can guarantee that's probably what's being said. So be careful with this. This is a new project. Check, they do have a white paper online that can talk about all the different coins and stuff like that. And just one last thing I want to touch on real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been involved with some of this ADSB stuff for going on, I hate to say it, 7 to 8 months now. I have did a lot of testing with a lot of different devices. I know a lot of people coming in, the Wingbits, they're new. I know some people coming from Helium, and there's a whole different mentality that you have to have, a different mentality that you have to think about with this project. You're not transmitting nothing. A lot of this DBI stuff with further distance and stuff, you got to throw a lot of that out the window. We have did the testing with these SDRs. This SDR blows out any other SDR that's out there right now. We've tested them. I had videos that showed them. Some of the videos have been taken down just because of how much I talked about a different project. And maybe one day I still have some of these black SDRs and stuff that I bought at one time. And maybe I'll do some more testing. But I can tell you, I had the picture somewhere, boy. But going from a regular black, either the Noelec or one of the regular black SDRs that are out there that you see on Amazon, the RTLSDR.coms of version 3s, version 4s, and all that. This thing will literally double, at the very least, double what you're getting now, if not more. This has the integrated filter. So if you purchase this SDR, you do not need to purchase any other amplifiers. You don't need to purchase any kind of anything, LNAs or anything like that. This has that included. Do not add that stuff if you're using this device. You're putting too much filter on it, which doesn't sound correct, but trust me, we've tried it and we've had problems with it. This is all you need. It's $39. You know what the best part is? If you have a problem with this in the next 30 days or whatever it is, you can return it. It's a lot easier to return this stuff to Amazon than it is some of these other places. This is $39. If you're a Prime member, it's shipped. It comes in 2 to 3 days. It's a great product. If you don't have a Pi, you don't want to mess with your Helium stuff or any other device, you cannot beat these potato boards. They're great. And maybe one day I did a video on how to set this up for DeFly. Maybe one day I'll get on how to set up La Potato because it is a little bit different. But for $35, you cannot beat it. And then you buy this little case with it, and you can also buy the little, if you need one of these power adapters. A lot of us already have them from cell phones and stuff. But These little fan adapters, I've been purchasing those because it gets hot down here in South Louisiana, 100 degrees in the summertime. Um, these things work great. I have several of them. At one time, I had over 30 D-Fly devices out there, almost 40 when you included my friends that I helped set up and my family members that so I have been through this stuff, and not that I'm an expert, please understand that, but I've been through a lot of the pains and struggles. The biggest thing is this. This is all the antenna you need, $44. This antenna, I have tested them, and I had a video up that I've tested these against several of these other antennas. There was only one antenna that worked better, and it was this Signal Plus. The Signal Plus 5.5 dBi eked out very small, I would say 3 to 4 flights, and you don't know if there was a bird in front of it, and that's why the other one didn't pick it up. But my point is, when you look at the price tag on it, and you can go back to this one and look at this price tag on it, you can save $20 by not getting the best of the best. There have been several people, one of them is my friend who did not listen. When he couldn't figure out why the hell he was getting half the planes he should be, he was running this 12 dBi. You got to remember, these flights are 12,000, I mean, I'm sorry, 40,000 feet in the air, and you don't want this high dBi stuff. You want to stick to this 5.5 dBi. Like I said, this one's 5.5. And if you look, they look awfully identical. And like some people have mentioned, I would not be surprised if these are Chinese clones and these are basically the same antenna with a different sticker on them. Either way, I have yet to find an antenna that works better than this 26-inch antenna. I will also tell you, on one of my spots that I showed y'all, I was getting over 200 flights with this. I'm hitting 250, 300 miles away sometimes. And people can argue with me about curvature of the earth or whatever you want to argue with me about. I don't care. I'm just telling you that this antenna works. And really, are you really going to get compensated that much more if you can eke out 5 more planes than 200, or whatever, by going with a more expensive thing? This is picking up flights on the ground at New Orleans International and Baton Rouge International Airport for me, as well as 40,000 feet. So it's picking up the low flying stuff and it's picking up the higher stuff. So you can see they got planes landing here, Baton Rouge, and I'm picking them up. And I don't, look at New Orleans and some of these low flying, I got helicopters and stuff. So you can pick these up, aircraft up. So I've made this video way too much longer than I wanted to. I apologize, but I just wanted to make sure y'all understand. We have gone through this in the last 6, 7 months, testing all this stuff out and did the hard work for you. Feed line, if you're staying under 10 feet, I have a link for the feed line. You can get by with some of the thinner stuff, but anything above 10 feet going to about 30, 40 feet, you want LMR 400. And even at 30, 40 feet, that might be too much loss. At 1,000 plus megahertz, that's a lot of loss. Even if you're not transmitting, it's not as serious as if you were transmitting. If you were transmitting at that frequency, you have a lot of loss. But you are going to have some loss when receiving that signal, and it's something you need to pay attention to. So I will have some links on some feed lines and stuff like that. If you are if you are coming from helium, one thing you have to be aware of is this little connector that's on the end. You can't see it in any of these, but this little connector on this side, this connector right here is going to be different than what was on a helium device. So you do have to buy some type of little adapter. There's a link in the description that you have to use. Chances are if you hooked up your feed line and your antenna correctly and you hooked it up to this and you're only getting 1 or 2 flights, chances are the first thing I would look at is make sure the female on your feed line to this is correct. Chances are it's probably wrong. So I appreciate everybody who's stuck by so far. Hey, everybody, please like the video this to let me know that you do appreciate the help on this. Also, when you like stuff and you subscribe and different things like that, Amazon will push Wingbits content out for people who are searching for it. And hopefully this will be a project that we can all do very well on. And like I said, it looks a lot more professionally ran. The website's a lot clearer. Hopefully, towards from what the white paper says, there should be a, the coin should be token should be coming out end of this year, early next year, and we could do very well. So thanks everybody for sticking around, and I'll be doing more videos. If there's any videos y'all would like to know about, see, or need, let me know and put it in the comments, and I'll try to do some videos for y'all also. And I have my hunting video coming out later, probably tomorrow, and my cooking video I have ready to go. I'm just scared to share it, but I will share it just because I've actually had some people ask, "Where's it at?" So thank y'all, and everybody have a good evening.